Hey guys, how's it going today?
Great.
Good stuff. Thank you for this film. I so enjoyed it. It is a lot of fun. George, I gotta say, you gotta take a chance when you get into a limo with two beautiful girls. You never know what you're gonna get in that back seat, correct?
You don't know what's gonna happen. You don't know the things that are gonna pop up. So you just gotta stay open. You don't know the type of night you're gonna have. You look at Benny, he comes in a guy who needs all this money, and by the end of the night, who knows? He's out here, he's seen all of it. He's seen it all.
Mm.
Absolutely. And Raul, you play his brother Ray, of course. And is he a good brother or bad brother? Letting him get into this situation.
I think well, I don't think he knows clearly what he's getting into, quite what he's getting into, but I think he's a good brother. I think he's a brother who's in awe. He's he's watching his little brother become a man.
True.
And that's such a special moment, I think, in any person's life when you watch your sibling kind of evolve into that, into that next person. So I think the story, I think he's a good brother. I think
Yeah.
so.
Okay, well, we'll give him that. Yeah, you're right. He doesn't really know what he's setting him into. George, we gotta say, like I say, it was a lot of fun to watch this transformation because we've seen you in a lot of films where you're having a really good time. It's fun. It's silly. This is a little bit more dark and a little bit more serious, but I'm sure you still had a lot of fun. What was it like to play this guy and then to work off these two, Lucy and Debbie? Amazing.
Thank you. Thank you for for knowing so much about my work. Working with Debbie and Lucy was fantastic. I feel like they embodied the characters, exceptionally well. When you think about the context of how the story unfolds, them in the middle of this 100-year vampire gang war that Raul's character Jay is leading the humans at
Right.
Is impactful because I feel like they bring the tenacity, they bring that luscious taste for blood. And I feel like they just, although I'm in the driver's seat, I feel like they definitely keep the movie going.
Yeah, it's fun to and Raul, look, yes, as George just said, you're the vampire hunter, and that's not an envious job. It's hard to get these vampires because clearly, sometimes they just never die too, right? But you got a lot going on here. What kind of vampire hunter tips did you get from any maybe previous films or shows that you might have watched in the past?
I mean, I'm a big I was a big fan of Lost Boys when I was a kid, and a lot of I was a big horror movie fan. Even before I got into theater, I was big into horror movies. So I feel like I've been training for night teeth for my whole life. I've been my 8-year-old self was so as far as tips, I mean, it's just the usual, to stay away from vampires. But I don't know if I got any tips per se, but I did feel like I was preparing my whole life for this film in some ways, just being a big fan of the genre.
For sure.
Yeah.
Now, George, from what I understand, obviously, when we have a movie like this, all night shoots, everything has to be shot in the dark. And I love the coloring of this film too. It's just beautiful to watch. But I understand that they closed down Hollywood Boulevard for you to drive down. Tell me a little bit about just working on this and what it was like, to be a part of something like this.
I mean, it's we have such iconic views of LA going on throughout the whole movie, things that I grew up fantasizing about, these iconic images, kind of like the LA River bridges that we get to see in the film, and also closing down Sunset. That's the last person who shut that down was Quentin Tarantino, as far as I know, and to be able to just play in the same field or in the same locations is really eye-opening. It's definitely a big opportunity, a great blessing to have a film that that has a budget that covers something like this.
It's truly cool. It really is. And Raul, just to wrap it up, I mean, as the vampire hunter, you have some great adversaries. There's some really good people in this film, like Alfie and Megan. Of course, it's a lot. What was it like for you to work with these people?
Oh, it was amazing. I mean, just go toe to toe with Alfie, I remember both of us sitting in this New Orleans restaurant, getting ready to shoot one of our major scenes, and we each it's just whenever you get this is such a wonderful group of actors. Everyone in this cast is comes from such different worlds, and I mean, for me to get to see other people work is always so informative, and see how other people approach the work. And I feel like everyone was coming in with their own school of approach. So I was excited. You know, those scenes were a lot of fun to shoot. They're so dynamic. There's so much going on. And like the film is like, it is dark, and it you know, it's dangerous and sexy and all that, but it was just fun. Like we had, like, it's a fun film to make, and hopefully it's fun for the audiences as well to watch.
Oh, it really is. I had so much fun watching it. Thank you guys so much for your time today. I really appreciate it. And George, the moral of the story is, if you want to make some extra cash, don't be a chauffeur, maybe, right?
Exactly.
Thanks so much, guys. Have a wonderful weekend. Take care. Bye-bye. Bye.